Okay. What's up,
Cause
Stephanie?
happy birthday, cuz happy birthday. But I also gotta ask you, what's the meaning of this damn outrage? What is the meaning of this damn outrage? You run around giving my iron to other people? You run around giving my iron to Mel? Cause you got a problem in here. You need to shoot her because these trolls are running in here, jumping up on the couch like the Rick James with their dirty feet. And you won't let me kick them out. You ain't gonna let me kick them out.
No.
Cause
I got Cammy and I got Melanie.
I
But
see.
I wanted.
It's embarrassing how you're doing me. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how you're doing me. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by you. On your birthday, you're embarrassing me like this. I can't believe it.
Grandma Joy says hi, by the way.
Hi. Um. But I will. This is the kind of cousin I am. See, I'm still gonna ride with you, cuz even though you took my iron, you're out here
I
embarrassing me in these
appreciate
streets.
that.
You stay out here embarrassing me in these streets, making me look like a fool. But I'm still gonna ride with you. I'm still good. I'm in the front seat. I'm shotgun every time. But even though, you took away my iron, I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about that later. But the complainant in the case, so we can't just sit here. It's a problem because I think from what I can tell, from what I understand, the only thing they've got is her statement. Correct?
It's her what? It
It's her
cut out.
statement. The only thing they've got is her statement.
Yes. The only thing they got is her statement.
Right. And so when you have an outcry, you can't go back and, well, you can to a certain extent go back and, make, add more details, change things that aren't exactly like fatal to the statement,
Right.
but, it's going to be hard. If all they got is her statement, then it's going to be hard for her. She's got an uphill battle to climb, or an uphill battle to fight now to show that she's credible. Because 3 years is a big difference. 3 years is a huge difference. And if all you got is her statement and she's going to make a change like that, then you're going to start wondering, like, did this even happen?
Right. And thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate that. He said 82, keep your foot on Hagar hot dog package. Oh my God. Thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate that. But Stephanie, here's the thing. Can you then change the lawsuit from 2000 to 2003? Because this is the narrative. Oh, she got the year wrong. That's a big gap.
That's a bit, yeah. And that's the thing is that she has the burden of showing that she's credible, or her lawyers. But I mean, her as in she's the party, right? They have the burden of proving that she's credible enough to show that he
Mhm.
was more likely than not to have done this. He doesn't have to disprove that. She's got to prove it. And so, that is a big thing. I think a jury would take into consideration. It's
Right.
it's too much of a difference. Yeah, I
Because
don't. Go ahead.
because like okay, say like you can't remember if you were 6, 7, or 8. That's more or less like okay, you were really a child, right?
Right.
But if you are 13, 14, 15, 16, possibly 17, that is huge right there.
And when did she? And I'm sorry, I know you're going to yell at me and tell me I need to do my research. But when did she first tell somebody that this happened?
Well, here's the thing. In the lawsuit, it just says that she got dropped off by a friend at Radio City Music Hall, right? And then she got in the limo. And they say, "Oh, there's an after party. You want to come to the after party?" She got in the limo. They took her somewhere in Jersey in the limo. It was a Diddy party.
Sure.
So that's where the assault happened, right? And
Right.
so she was able to gather her clothes. She ran and she was able to trace her steps back, and then go to trace her steps to a gas station, and then call her dad and tell her dad about her whereabouts. And it states that she admitted that she lied about her whereabouts, and then he came and picked her up.
Okay. So
And the dad said he doesn't recall it.
is she just now saying that this happened? Is this her first time telling this?
I read the whole thing, and it doesn't say anything like she ever reported it. And I was just saying, like, the dad didn't report it. You know what I mean? You
Well,
saying
and
that the
even if
dad
she
wouldn't report it?
even if they didn't make a police report, even if it's something like where, like a lot of times this happens where, a college student will tell like their roommate, their dorm mate, like, I
Right.
got assaulted at a party or something. And then, they could use that dorm mate or whoever the first person was to hear it as a way to, validate the credibility of the person making the complaint, right? Because it's like, well,
Mhm.
you were there, you heard, you saw what she looked like, you saw how upset she was, you saw injuries, you remember what time she came home, you remember, that kind of thing, right? So
Right.
if she just now told people, it's like, well, they don't have anybody else to say like, oh, I remember that night. It was definitely
Right.
2003 or it was
Well,
definitely
here's the
2006.
thing: the friend happened to pass away.
Okay, yeah,
So that's what the story is. The friend that knew about it passed away. So
yeah,
and the dad can't recall. So there's nobody.
yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. I think Tony Busby's got a problem on his hands. I do. Yeah. Um, and the thing is, I saw people in the chat saying like, whether she was 13 or 16, it's still assault. That's true, but that's not the issue. I think the issue is not when it happened, but if it happened, and her
Right.
not having that detail, that changing that. We're not assuming it did happen and just asking when. The question is if it did, and that
Right.
time gap would go to whether or not she would be able to convince a jury that it did.
Right. And I think, Stephanie, another thing that people are having gripes about this is that, oh, you're a Jay-Z defender, you're a Diddy defender. And it's
I don't
all
like them
like
Canadians. I don't like them Canadians.
they're claiming that because you're not on the side of the victim and you're not believing them, that you're a horrible person.
Yeah, no, that's a real way to stop people from thinking too hard about things, right?
Right.
And it's when with these kind of cases get in the system, they have to be treated just like any other cases in the system. And so, I couldn't be any more or less sympathetic to someone making a report that I could be of a sex assault that I could be of a burglary, or
Mm-hmm.
a what's another kind of criminal trespass or something like that. It's all we evaluate the credibility of the witnesses and the evidence of their claims in the same way, regardless of how what they're claiming happened. It's all measured the same way. The rules of evidence are the same. Nobody gets any benefit of the doubt more than anybody else.
Right. Oh, Danny has a good one. She said the case goes from being minor versus proving consent.
Well, it could, but the thing I think what the issue is not if she was able to establish it happened. I
Right,
think the thing
right. That's the
is,
thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if she was able to, if she had some other sort of um,
Yeah. I say like the
other
dress or a piece of clothing or something, some
or a
kind of
picture
DNA,
or
but
yeah, or something that would
yeah,
be able
no
to
pictures
corroborate.
in the lawsuit either. No pictures.
Right. And I think if she had something else to corroborate the story itself, that those details could change to a certain extent and still not be fatal to the testimony. But if it's all you got and then there's big changes like that, I think that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um if she was drugged, I don't. Wait, hold on. I seen if she was drugged, it don't matter, but still, I don't believe her. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, and also they said that she GHB, but that wouldn't even still be in her system by now. Again, there
No.
was no R kit done. They didn't go to the doctor. No police report. There was literally nothing done. And it's kind of like, come on now.
Right.
And
And
like, if she told her dad and her dad didn't do anything, that's a whole different another scenario.
but even if she did tell her dad and he didn't do anything, we could air him out, but he still would be able to come forward and say, no, she told me that night.
Right. He still would have came forward and said she told me that, but he's saying that he doesn't recall that at all. That's the problem, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. And the ultimately, I don't even need to say, she's. It's not even like whether or not she's definitely lying or she's gonna burn in hell for her lies or anything like that, right? It's not a moral judgment. It's just the fact that like sometimes the system is not able to get you the thing the result that's available in the system is not available to everyone who's been a victim, right? It's just not
Right.
because it's not a perfect system, and it has to be. We have to do things according to the system, the rules we have, the way we evaluate testimony, the processes, and sometimes it's unfortunate, but and I hate it. I don't mean to sound callous, but not everybody is going to be able to prove their case, and there's
Right.
reasons for that. And unfortunately, there would also be harm done if we started changing the rules to make it easier for people to prove things that didn't have a lot of evidence to support them, regardless of how true they were. This is just kind of how the system works. Like sometimes you don't get the things that the system can provide you because it's just not available in your case, right? And it's
Right.
life is just not fair sometimes, and I hate that. But it's like if not everybody who gets cancer gets well from chemotherapy. It just that's just the way it works. It's not a perfect world.
Right. I think Valentine. I think you just came into the show. That's what we were talking about. The whole date change. But even when the date change, it almost changes the whole case. And like I
Yeah,
said, 2000 versus 2003. That's a big difference. That's not something small or minor or minute. Like it because it's not like a chain of events that happen over the years. This is
right,
a specific event. You can't just
right,
all of a sudden change it from 2000 and then go 2003. Oh, I misspoke. You can't
right.
misspoke after the lawsuit the lawsuit been filed since October.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is her lawyer's looking real bad out here. We got a Tyrone Buzbee out here, doing this shit, and and that's another thing. I like Tisa Tells, being a go getter and getting out there and like making this content. That's great. I think that's really like good vlogging. But at the same time, like we can't. That's Tony Buzbee's job. Like this
Right.
should have been figured out.
Right. That's his job. And then my thing is too, I'm not sure if the victim is saying, "Oh, it happened to me in
Right.
2003." I think this is more of a Tisa thing than a.
Oh, so okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think she is saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Is the accuser saying 2003, or is that Tisa saying 2003? I know this is gonna get back to her, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, AT2 over there dragging you." Yeah, that's what I'm. Okay, it's okay, okay. Yeah, I thought so. So it's the. Oh, somebody said accuser. Well, I know that the accuser is claiming that certain people were there and they weren't there. But what I'm saying is that is she changing her date? And if she's changing her date, that's one thing. But if the content creator is just saying, "Oh, well, her story is now matching up with 2003," that's different.
Oh,
Okay, I think it's oh, go ahead.
that brings up a whole other thing now. Oh, that brings up a whole other thing now. Whew. I I wonder if the accuser has not said that the year, like the specific year, now if she's not the one that changed the year, and she wants to come back now and say like, oh no, yeah, no, I remembered correctly that it was 2006 or whatever. The story is now. I,
Hmm.
if I was the Jay-Z's attorney, I would grill her on if she's been watching YouTube.
Oh, oh shit! And you know Jay Z is watching YouTube, by the way, or his team of
His
lawyers are
team, his
watching.
people, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that might work
Mm-hmm.
against her, you guys. Yeah, like oh, so you're watching YouTube and shit. Don't let them throw in. She been listening to Jaguar Wright stories because that's a whole another thing, you know. Isaiah
Yeah,
said Buzbee is merely an ambulance chaser. His press conference has a shameless promotion with his logo and a 800 number in the back. Oh Lord, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
And thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate that. Steph, I'm gonna let another
Okay,
caller
cool.
up. Carlos been waiting for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay,
drop you down, but
cool.
thank you. And
Of
DM
course.
me and we can talk later about our issues and
Okay.
what's going on and why I'm mad and all that. All right,
Okay. Let me go.
love you, cuz. All right, here we go. What's up, Carlos? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. It's my first time appearing in this. So, first of all, you're doing a great job covering this
Thank you.
Jay Z coverage. First of all, I knew Jay Z was innocent from the jump.
Oh, okay, from the jump.
Yeah, I knew he was innocent from the jump because if you connect the dots, I watched the VMAs in 2000. Jay Z was nowhere near the VMAs, and I just rewatched the VMAs 3 hours ago.
Hmm.
Jay Z was, according to the resources, the news media, Jay Z was touring in the South.
Because I seen a picture, like Jay-Z didn't perform that year, but I seen a picture of him like in a red shirt. Excuse me, and they're claiming that he was in the audience.
He was
So you're
nowhere near
saying
the
that
VMAs.
he was touring that year.
He wasn't performing the VMAs. He was nowhere near it.
Let me block you, Keith. You
Maybe he
said that's
was
your
in the audience.
yo. Yo, the shirt and everything. Oh, Keith's getting blocked for life. She getting blocked for life. You is
Oh
blocked
my
for life.
God!
Yo!
Oh!
Yo! She ate us up with that one. Keith.
Yo, they're gonna clip this for
They are
sure.
clip. Yeah, they clipping this. They are clipping this.
Oh my God! Anyway, no wonder we're wearing the same clothes.
Oh shit! Yeah, the same. Oh my god.
Golly.
But anyway, go ahead and continue. So you said
Let's
Jay Z
move
was on
on.
tour, and
So
you didn't believe it from the beginning.
I didn't believe it from the beginning. I think that you know when I watched it, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, Jay Z didn't even perform. Well, they say he was in the audience,
Hmm.
but NBC News was saying he was touring around the country. Like,
Oh, that was Good Charlotte. The because she said one of the members she showed looked at the tattoos. That was Good Charlotte that they said was touring, not Jay Z.
yeah, so like in my opinion, I watched that interview, and when the dad said, "Oh, I don't recall you calling me, telling me about this,"
Hmm.
my mouth dropped, in my opinion, Tony Buzbee should have done his research before filing.
Right, right. Whoever his because they're saying that it was one of his people in Alabama that went there and interviewed the girl. They obviously didn't do their job because now he's looking stupid.
Exactly. Like I said to myself, okay, this has Jagger White vibes all over.
Ooh, so you saying this accuser is giving you Jaguar Wright vibes?
She was giving Jagger White vibes.
Mm. I have to agree with you on that. The stories are all over the place and the timelines are not making sense.
If you would pay attention to the timelines, it didn't make sense. It
Right.
didn't. It's. But anyway, man. Thank you for letting me on, and thank you for letting me speak my opinion. I'm definitely gonna be watching the rest of your show. Salute to you, man. And yo, they're gonna clip this for sure.
Right. Thank you, Carlos, for coming up. I appreciate you. Have a good one. That was cool. That was my first time talking to him. We got Hott Sundae. What's up, Sunday? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I love your show. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your continual coverage of this because I do think that there's a lot of confusion with all of the influx of details and information.
Yeah.
Yeah, your reference to Tissa Tells, or
Hmm.
Tisa, sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. I looked at maybe like an hour of her stream. I know she's still streaming, but I wanted to clarify some things if that's okay, based off of what she stated.
Mm.
She
Oh, but
says,
hold on.
uh-huh.
Nubia, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so she says that the law allows for a variance of 4 to 6 years as far as being off. So if you said something happened in 2000, but it actually
Uh huh.
happened in 2006, they'll still accept the claim. So
Really?
yes, there's a minor protection law for those that can't quite remember the exact date. That's what Tissa Tells was saying in her live. Yes, she did a lot of research. She said she conducted research for half a day before deciding to stream, and that was one of the things that she stated, that there is room for error, there's a margin. And I think people should keep that in mind before formulating a public opinion. I myself do not think that the evidence brought forth is substantial to tie him
Hmm.
to that sort of allegation. I
Hmm.
really think that this relates to Jaguar Wright, because public opinion is being formed before he even gets to trial, which is doing a disservice, and it's swaying the jury, by her making these blatant lies and allegations about having been, you know, uh, SA'd, right? That we
Right.
all are aware of. I'm tying her in because he deserves a fair trial. I don't
I agree.
believe that. People should be throwing stones at him before he even gets to the stand. Let the jury be unbiased, but if you've got people like Jaguar saying he did this to me, he did that to me, etc., so forth, the jury's already going to have their mind made up before they even see the evidence. And the evidence, I feel, based off of what I've heard from Tisa Tells and online sources like official news networks, is the evidence is weak. And I personally think that, anybody can Google what the house looks like that these celebrities purchase. Anyone can Google when, places, and times, and outfits and videos. There's so much archive during that time period that she cited during her live. She physically
Hmm.
showed proof that Jay-Z was on stage performing in 2003. So she's asserting that the date of these crimes happened in
Right. She.
2003.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and she's got proof. She's got proof that not only was he
Wait. Who
there,
has proof?
Tissa Tells has proof
But
that,
that's the problem, though. She has proof. Why does she have the proof? Shouldn't it be Tony Buzbee or the girl that has the proof?
well,
Because
I'm not.
Stephanie brought up a good point. Like, if all of a sudden now the girl changed her story and goes like, "Oh, it's '03." Well, now why all of a sudden you remember that? Because now this turns into, "Oh, well, did you get that from YouTube?"
Well, okay, so I'm going to try and be respectful to um, everybody that has an opinion about what's going on. And I'll say that I don't know that he's innocent. Okay. I'm
Hmm.
not claiming that he's guilty, but I don't know that he's innocent. And so some of the um, some of the connections that she's making are, her journalistic side. It's not to say that the lawyer didn't also make these connections. I think that prematurely she spoke to a, to on camera to a news reporter. Probably shouldn't have. But one of the things that I
Oh,
know to be true, yeah, one of the things I know to be true about autism is that they struggle with memory retention. That is one of the main qualities of autism. I work in
right.
healthcare. I've been a healthcare worker for 7 years. I've worked in special education. I have family members with autism. They struggle with memory retention. So,
Hmm.
with that being said, it's not uncommon for an autistic individual to not remember things as a neurotypical person would. So to be fair to
Right.
her, it's very plausible that she doesn't have everything together because of the wiring of her brain. But but I still feel that the evidence is weak and that anyone can do a Google and say, well, this person was wearing this and they were at this place at that time. I'm going to file
Right.
a civil suit. And so that's why I'm so infuriated with the behavior that Jaguar has exuded, because she's making him guilty before he even gets to the stand. She's making people think that he is a monster. She went on Piers Morgan and said that. And I was, um, when I sent the video link to Star for him to cover it, then this whole avalanche started where she's trying to recant everything and retract everything and clean up the
Right.
mess. But I really think she needs to be made an example of. That's one of the reasons why I sent the link. By her being made an example of, right, through Jay-Z's legal team, if he decides to
Mhm.
press charges, it will change and sway the public opinion to neutral, which is where the marker should be. It shouldn't be on guilty. Public opinion should be on neutral, indifferent.
Right.
Let's see the evidence.
That's
Let's see
right.
what's going on. But a story like what Jaguar shared on the Storm Monroe platform is so, like, it is such a monstrosity. How could anyone give him the benefit of the doubt after hearing something like that when he has an audience of greater than 300,000 that she broadcasted that misinformation to? So by her being
Right.
um, made an example of, by all of her lies being, exposed, I think that he'll have a fair trial, because based off of what Tissa tells has stated, they are not dismissing the case. They are not going to sweep it under the rug. They are going to pursue charges. And I think that, he deserves a fair trial, just like any other American citizen. We all
Right.
have the right for the evidence to speak. It shouldn't be some random person like Jaguar putting mud on his name. I mean, he could be a difficult person. He could be all the things that she claims that he is, but
Right.
don't lie. Okay, don't lie, because when
Right.
you
That's the
lie,
problem. It's the lie. Like, I have no problem with saying if Jay-Z is a monster, he's this and that. I have no problem with saying that. But it's just that in the case of Jaguar, no, it's not that. By the way, Isaiah is a fan of you. He said protect Sunday. She put pressure on the black and you see it right there. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think about Tony Buzbee and Jaguar Wright linking up? I guess she's going to have a meeting with somebody on Monday, a virtual phone meeting.
thank you so much for that last comment. What I will say about that is she's kind of cornered now. She has to link up with Tony Buzbee, in my opinion, because she's
Mm.
faced with a potential defamation lawsuit against Jay-Z for the false allegation that she made to more than 250,000 people. Millions of people now, because that video has circulated after I sent it to Star, and
Hmm.
I'm taking ownership of that. I sent the link to Star. She was inquiring with Essa Berry and everyone that she can get in touch with about how Star got the link. I was the one who sent it, and that was directly from Storm's platform. And so,
Right.
we all know that the video was not edited. We all know that it was
Right. That's what I was
undoctored,
going to say. She said it was edited.
and it's not. And so essentially, by her seeking representation, she protects herself to some degree from any lawsuits that he files. So I think she's kind of cornered now to do so, because instead of what she's been doing is just getting a check off of her war stories and not actually going through the legal system, and now she's forced to tell the truth under oath, right? So she's going to
Right.
be criminally liable for any lies that she makes. And I think that it's high time that she does it. If you've been through some stuff, tell it to the judge, because you don't need to be profiting off of social media for such horrific, terrible crimes that you claim happened to you. That's not
Right.
appropriate. The internet has all sorts of explicit things, but this, come on, dude, this ain't for the internet. Go to the judge, go through the criminal system. Somebody tied you to a bed and SA'd you and put a gun to your head, and now you're saying it didn't happen, but you've got so many stories similar to that. That does
Hmm.
not belong on social media just so that you can get views and profit. That seems very, like, questionable. And that kind of stuff belongs in front of a judge. So they're putting her in a position to where it's either, you stand on what you said or shut up, and it's high time. I'm glad to have lit the torch for
Right.
that, because for some reason when Storm uploaded it initially, it didn't get the same traction until it got into Star's hands,
Yeah, I think because
So
that video was long, it was about 2.5 hours, I believe. That's probably why. And so that part I didn't remember until he re-uploaded it, and then Star had talked about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that did happen in that video."
I sent
Because
part I sorry, I misspoke. I spent some time looking at the video, right?
hmm
And then I wrote down the timestamp and I sent the exact timestamp to Star so that he can preview what all the commotion was about before he went and then discussed it on his platform.
And
Yeah.
did you do the original video or the uploaded one?
I looked at both. I looked at both.
Oh,
I
okay.
went correct because I wanted to
There
see
we
if there was
go.
any difference between the recent upload and the previous, and there isn't. And I edit videos on my own platform for my own content. I have my platform is so small. Like I just started it 2 months ago. It's not
Yeah, I
established
remember
yet.
you said you were new. Yeah.
Yeah, super new, just 2 months. And one of the things that I kind of got into the swing of was editing. You can tell when something's been edited. You can absolutely tell when there's
Right.
a clip. It's not a seamless transition. There's no editing to that video. And her assertions that it was edited um, are a showing of her poor character. And she's trying to bully and intimidate everyone who has some sort of platform in order to change her the liability factor, and then the discrediting that she's done to herself. She's discredited herself by making such a huge, vicious allegation. And I don't think that she should be given the opportunity to recant on anything. But I do think that she will seek representation from Tony Buzbee in order to avoid the raft of Jay-Z's lawyer, because she is doing him a huge disservice in his upcoming trial. I'm
Mm.
hoping that he did not do these things, but if he did, let his sentence be based off the evidence and not this woman who has added so much gasoline and fuel to his flame. It's not fair to him.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Let it
like,
happen in court and not the court of public opinion. Two different
yeah,
things. Yeah.
absolutely. We don't
Yeah.
need the jury to say, "Well, we saw this video where he tied her down and and did this and did that with a deadly weapon. Of course she did this, even though the victim has no evidence. Of course he did it." And that's what could happen if Jaguar is allowed to continue to lie about Jay-Z. It's not fair, okay? He whatever sentence or penalty he gets, let it be based off of this individual um the specific allegations with this person and not her claims and her assertions and all the crap that she's saying. Let that be like not a part of his trial, because when the jury feels like you're a monster, they're feeling like they're doing the right thing by petitioning for the
Right.
maximum sentence.
You,
You know,
yeah, it could sway the jury. That's definitely something to think about. Well,
yeah.
Sunday, I'm gonna let the next guest come up. Thank you for coming up. I
Thank you for
appreciate
having
you
me.
as always, and you always give a great perspective. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much. Love your platform. Bye.
Thank you. You have a good one. All right. Shout out to Sunday. She's always so respectful and nice. What's up, cousin Sinitra? How you doing?
I'm good because I was actually on YouTube this evening. I'm usually not in here watching anybody. But
Right. Usually knocked out by now.
no, I'm never, baby, I don't sleep, but I'm usually not on YouTube. But listen,
Mmm.
but you know I love you. But I
I know. I
popped
love you
in
too.
because this whole thing with this lady is very interesting. Did you get a chance to watch her interview with NBC? The
I
accuser.
don't think I did.
AC2, you gotta watch it. AT2,
Okay,
you
was
gotta
it?
watch it. Baby, let me tell you, she was sitting up there, even her shadow looked pale. Baby, Miss Mama's had a bob that was tucked and folded up underneath. She had little bitty hands. I'm not saying
What?
that she was a little person, but she had little bitty hands. She was stroking and petting a stuffed rabbit. Um, she's a different kind of lady, and the story just didn't make sense. And I'm sorry, in my experience, when you tell a story and it don't make no sense, it's probably because it ain't true. You
Mm.
not gonna convince me. I worked in prisons way too long. You not gonna convince me that your daddy drove 5 hours plus into New York City with no GPS, because in 2000 there was no GPS. You ain't did that. That man
Tanisha,
ain't
I
jumped
just
up out his
realized.
bed in the middle of the night, drove 5 hours, and didn't cuss you out. My daddy worshiped the ground I walked on. If I had called Phil Smith in the middle of the night at 13 and said, Phil, I snuck out the house. I'm in New York City. Drive 5 hours to come get me from a gas station. He was gonna curse me out. Like, there's no way around that. You getting cussed out. She said he drove her back home another 5 hours, and they was quiet the whole way. You are a lie in 7 sacks of horse manure. That man would have cursed you out the whole way home, the whole next 6 months. Every time you asked to go to the mailbox, you would have gone with a security detail and a chaperone. You lying.
Right. And Tanisha, I
Then
heard you incorrectly because I did actually play the interview. And then I was all like, oh, wait, she said the shadow was
yeah,
pale.
her shadow was pale. I'm like, girl, how did you get a pale shadow? And I did not understand why the whole time in this interview she's sitting up there stroking a stuffed rabbit. What does this stuffed rabbit have to do with anything? This woman says she was in a bubble and the fire was in the bubble. Listen, let me tell you something. She's trying to play crazy so that Jay-Z can't sue her when this all blows up. She want to be able to say I'm mentally
Oh.
incapable. I didn't know what I was saying. Tony Buzbee hoodwinked me. I don't know. It was a space alien. Marvin the Martian stole my coochie. Ain't no telling what story she gonna tell when she get caught. She is playing crazy. I don't believe for 1 minute she got no autism and none of the rest. You not gonna tell me this side of hell that a 13-year-old snuck out her mama and daddy house at 2 in the afternoon. Because remember, the VMA started around 8 or so. So in order for her to get there, she would have had to leave by 2:30. School don't even let out to 3 o'clock. So how the hell did you get out your
Right.
mama house, climbing out the window, riding with a 20-year-old? A 20-year-old drove the 13-year-old girl to New York City to Radio City Music Hall for 5 hours with no gas money and just got out the car. Did she even stop the car? Did she just slow down and tell that heifer to tuck and roll? What happened? And then after she drove you there, she just left you. What was your plan to get home? How the hell was you supposed to get home from New York City, Manhattan? Was you running away? Did you pack a bag? What did you have on? Was you still wearing your school clothes? See, all of this sounds stupid to me.
Right. But that's the thing, though, because she's claiming that she lied and said she was going to be at a friend's house. And the friend took her and dropped her off.
First of all, what 13-year-old girl with autism got a 20-year-old friend that she go hang with? Because what I
Everybody was
read,
saying that. Hmm.
because what I read, it ain't say nothing about no friend house. I read, I be reading stuff, AT2. I read that this heifer say she snuck out the window to evade her mammy and her daddy. Now, how the hell you sneaking out the window at 2:30 in the evening? Where the hell was you going? You mean to tell me from 2:30 to bedtime, your mama ain't said, come and wash some dishes, come and sweep the floor? Didn't I tell you to take them clothes out the dryer? Ain't nobody fussed at you all day. Mama's fussed at children all day. You got home from school. This lady didn't even check to see if you did your homework. Nobody knew that you snuck out the window at 2:30 in the goddamn evening
Wow.
to go to Manhattan with a 20-year-old. Do
The
that
way
make
you
sense to
just broke it
you?
down to me, I'm impressed.
Cause listen, now AT2, I'm a mama and a grandma. I catch on the bull crap. You can't run game on me.
Right.
And she's sitting up there stroking the goddamn stuffed rabbit, trying to play crazy. Because by the time Jay-Z decides he want to sue her, she gonna play crazy. She gonna start talking about the voices told her to do it. Marvin the Martian stole her thong. It's gonna be all kind of stuff. She finna play stone crazy.
Listen, if Jay-Z was coming after me, I'd play crazy too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing, right? You in Rochester, New York. This whole story makes no sense. You claim, I want you to think about this. Now, I done been to New York City. I like New York. You know, they like me too because I'm country. We're a delicacy up there. I done been to Manhattan. You understand me? I ain't never seen no standalone mansions in Manhattan. It don't make no sense. The whole story is stupid. I didn't even see that many gas stations. So you found this place with a Manhattan, and now you trying to explain to me that you ran from this mansion bucket naked, clothes in hand, barefoot, through a party after you talked to a man that wasn't there about the Last Supper tattoo because you religious, and you run to this magical gas station, call your daddy from the gas station, and tell him to come from Rochester into New York City with no GPS. AT2, that's back when we still had map
Oh yeah, we still
and
have
paper maps.
MapQuest.
So how the hell did your daddy even find you in the middle of the night at the
Right.
gas station? And let's just say, first of all, them people got out the VMAs. They went to Lotus nightclub. They say Puffy had a section. Jay-Z Camel Face Tail was somewhere else in the club. They wasn't even chilling together that night. So if this happened at another place after that, okay. If this happened at another place after that, that would have had to been even later. After the VMAs ended, after the after party, this would have had to been the after party, right? So if you called your daddy in Rochester, New York, to get out his bed in the middle of the night to drive 5+ hours, that man wouldn't have got there till 4 days the next morning. It would have been sunrise when he was getting there.
Right. Right.
This would have been a 2-day event.
There has been like a lot of controversy regarding dates. I'm not going to say the content creator's name, but regarding dates
You done
because
already
they're now
said it, boy.
saying it's 2003 and not 2000. Does that still, with what you just said, does that still change anything?
That don't change nothing. So now you telling me you a 15-year-old girl with autism and you don't know what happened to you at 15 and 13. Those are two very significant years. Even if you don't remember the date on the calendar, you know what happened to you at 13 and what happened to you at 15. She said what she meant and she meant what she said. She said the year 2000.
Right.
Okay.
And Herstory, thank you so much. She said, and she said the same friend that drove the 5 hours suddenly passed away.
Ain't that something? She blamed that dead girl because she know the girl can't defend herself. That's what she did. She wouldn't blame that dead girl. I got a couple of dead friends. I can say they did some stuff
Let
too.
me turn off my camera when you talking. Go.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? I feel like this, ATC. And you know me, you know I can't do nothing but tell the truth and shame the devil. I
No,
feel
because in my mind I was all like, now how's she gonna blame the dead girl? Like I was saying the same
yeah,
thing, but I didn't
that's
want to
what
say
she
it.
did.
So I'm glad
She
you said it.
that was the only dead person she knew, and it was either her or her granddaddy. So she just picked this girl and said she the one did it.
And Sinitra, what I had a problem with, and I didn't say it last night, but today I did mention it. I was saying I have a problem with this girl, and I know in upstate New York they don't really have accents, but the accent that she has is a very Alabama accent,
Well, she
and
been in
not just the
Alabama for a while.
right. But also, I have a problem with a white woman blaming these two black men of a horrendous crime like this. And
Yeah.
it's starting to not even make any kind of sense. And so I'm all like, they expected this girl to get away with the lie. And the thing was, I believe that they're keeping her a Jane Doe because when we find out who she is, we're going to question it.
I think that's possible. But do you know what I think the other possibility is? You ready for this?
Right. I'm ready.
The other possibility is it wasn't no goddamn girl. The possibility is that Tony Buzbee made this bull crap up, and at the last minute, he done pulled this woman out the crack of his behind and put her behind a
Whew.
screen with them little bitty hands stroking that stuffed rabbit. Because this don't make no sense. I believe this girl is. I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying she could be an actress. That could be why her daddy wasn't in on it because If she was in on this lie from day one, clearly she would have talked this over with her daddy, right? Clearly she would have
Right.
said, hey, daddy, this the play. This how we going to get this money. How come the daddy was took off guard? They were like, sir, did you come pick up? And he was like 5 hours to New York. I don't remember that.
Right, you had to drive 5 hours. You would remember that. And shout
Hell
out to
yeah.
Wes because Wes said, and thank you for the super chat. Said, and not an adult stopped this child and says, "Where are your parents?" Where? Yeah, like that's literally
Listen,
just common sense. Like nobody said because if she was 13 at the time, she would have looked like a little girl.
right. She definitely would have looked like a little girl. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, you probably still got on your school clothes. This lady said she was chatting up limo drivers. So this random little girl that's 13 with autism is outside chatting up limo drivers. And somebody just said, you just what Puffy is looking for. And she kept saying Diddy. He wasn't even going by that name yet, if I remember right.
Right.
All of this is just weird. And what irritates me the most,
Let's see.
baby cousin, is that
Hmm.
people like Puffy has been a menace to society for years. And if we don't stop all this goddamn lying, that scumbag is going to get away with everything he's ever done. Because
Oh, that's
stuff like what Tony
Couture. They had
Buzbee,
said that he gonna get away with it if
he going to mess
everybody be lying
around.
on him like this.
He going to mess around and get away with pure D murder because of all the lies. Now, I said it before over on my channel, and I don't care who don't like it. I believe Tony Buzbee worked for Puffy. I believe he worked for Sean Combs. I believe that Sean Combs paid this reptilian to come out here with all these bullcrap stories so that way you muddy the waters, you muddy the jury pool, and you create public sentiment that he is some kind of victim, and they trying to Emmett Till him. He is no Emmett Till. This Negro is the devil's little brother, but he is going to get away with pure D murder because of this leather skinned man bringing out all these weirdos telling strange stories.
You know, you're not the only one saying that he's working with whatchamacallit, what is his name?
With Puffy.
Yeah, working with Puffy. Like you're not the only one saying that. A lot of people
Listen,
are
let me
saying
tell you
that.
something. I'm not the only one, but I was the first one because when everything first popped off with that man, I said that from day one. Everybody else was too busy being excited because, oh, we got Puffy. And I kept saying from day one, stop celebrating because this guy, think about it. Think about this here, baby. This man showed up talking about, I set up a hotline. Over 3,000 people called me. I vetted everybody. I vetted them all. And it's 120 that's legit, and it's 60 men and 60 women. You remember he said that, right?
Right. And 25
Okay.
minors. This is one of the
And
cases.
25 minors, right? Remember that. Now, when it comes to this case, when you go read the transcript from the NBC article, he first said, well, another law firm vetted it and referred her. Sir, you said you vetted all the cases. Then later in the article, he said, we're still vetting it and collecting corroborating data that might exist. Then later in the article, he said, we already vetted it. Well, which one is it? Did you vet? Are you vetting? Or did somebody else vet and refer this hooker? Because you brought your
Right.
funky behind on television and you said you vetted all them goddamn people. Now, all of a sudden, somebody else doing the vetting. At this point, who the hell is vet? And how can we talk to that hoe? Because somebody lying.
Yep.
Somebody lying. Why the hell would you file a case? Tony Buzbee is not a rookie. He's not. Your skin don't look like leather in the first 20, 30 years of your life. This man, he's had time to tan his hide until it's like the hide of a crocodile, an aged crocodile.
Oh,
Okay? Tanned and stained, pure leather. Okay? He's not a rookie. This is
right.
not his first case. For him to file a case and he never interviewed the daddy to find out if he picked the girl up. He never even checked to see if the celebrity she claimed that she talked to was even there. He never even asked the question, well, why was this 20-year-old dropping you off in the middle of Manhattan and how did you plan to get home? He asked none of these questions, but he filed it.
Looking for fame.
But no, look deeper, baby cousin. This ain't just looking for fame. Those are not mistakes. He did that on purpose. He wanted this case to implode. He wanted it to blow up. That's why he doubled down in the media. He wanted it to blow up because he knew Jay-Z was going to be out there trying to cut his head off. He wanted to be proved a liar. He wanted this weird lady with the stuffed rabbit to be proved a liar because this way they can use all of this to invalidate any real victims that come up later. Any real victims come up after this,
Mm,
everybody looking sideways because y'all done had this weird lady with
that's
a stuffed
true.
rabbit talking about the world is on fire in a bubble and you in the bubble, all this bull crap.
Right. Like it has me that way as well too. Like anytime somebody says they're a victim, I'm always like, okay, well, let me hear the story. Let me think about it for a week. Let me sleep on it. And then, give me some time to digest. Like now I'm not just all like, oh yeah, they got one. Like I don't, and honestly, to tell you the truth, with the Diddy lawsuits, I don't even report on every lawsuit that comes out because I'm all like, at this point, it's too much.
I
I
caught
just don't.
on I caught on to Tony Buzbee from day one. First of all, why you got a hotline? Who you screening people for? I felt like he was screening people to make sure no real victims got to light. I feel like that was the only reason for him to set up a hotline. You not the FBI.
Mm.
Who put you in charge of all Diddy victims? That man done been all over the world, America, other countries, victimizing people, children, young girls, all type of stuff. Who made you the god of Diddy's victims? Why are you screening them? Why are you the one to tell them they don't have a case?
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I disagree with is because Diddy technically still has to spend money to fight these cases.
Yeah, I don't really care about that because those
But you
lawyers
think
he
he would
got are
still
on
waste his
retainer.
money like that? Trying
But
to get some. Go ahead.
yes,
I'm sorry.
yes, he would. AT2, think about it. First of all, this Negro is not poor. That's number one. His pockets are deep. And I don't put nothing past Diddy. Diddy thinks he's smart. He really thinks
Mm.
he's smarter than your average bear. And those lawyers he got are on retainer. You think he's paying them for every individual case that they're filing? He's paid them one huge lump sum and they handling them all. Especially
Mm.
if Tony Buzbee is in on the fix. That man is a freaking criminal. And I bet you I've been saying it since day one. If a forensic accountant gets involved, I bet you there's a money trail that leads back to Diddy. I bet you.
Ooh.
I bet you. Because a lawyer as seasoned as Tony Buzbee does not file a case like this and make these kind of mistakes by accident. You did this on purpose. I refuse to believe that he's that stupid. Not as long as he's been practicing law.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I can definitely see that perspective from it. Sinitra, thank you so much for coming up. I
You
appreciate you
know,
so much.
I don't get by often, but I love you. I decided to pop in and holler at you.
I appreciate that. And trust me, you done brought up some shit to think about because now you got my mind spinning. And hey, that's what you was here for, to give a different perspective, right?
Okay. And the cracker joker too. You know me.
Yeah,
So
a
listen.
lot of jokes.
All right. Talk to you later, dear.
All
Bye.
right, love you. Thank you for coming up. And make sure you guys check out Sinitra's channel as well too. I'm a Uncle Charles. I'm gonna let Chef Rosie on first. Hello, Chef Rosie.
Hello, I love you beyond
Oh,
measure.
thank you.
I'm always in the background and quiet. I listen to Jaguar and all these other people. I'm going to say this
Mhm.
is that, first of all, when we're talking about what's going on with P. Diddy, we're talking about what's going on with um, Jay-Z. Guess what?
Mhm.
They all flocked together. They did, even R. Kelly. We cannot excuse
Right.
that. But what I can say is this: when Buzbee first came out, he already let you know, like he was about whoever's gonna pay, so he could get them paid. That means he gets paid too. But I believe that when Jay-Z came out and said something about his family, he said like they were trying to uh discredit him, but also they was trying to like hurt him and his family, that
Mhm.
he's been bought. I think he's been bought because he is in that
Mm.
process. Like when we're talking about Jaguar has said a whole lot of things that was true. And then when she go back and she's recanting stuff, We don't know that. Like we talking about men that has been sexually assaulted and they really only like women, but they didn't know what happened to them. And then when they saw the tapes, or now I took money from you and now they're embarrassed about it. And we keep saying this. I don't know why this person didn't just come out and tell the truth because their lives are in danger.
Right.
You are in the position that you're in, but as soon as someone backdoor you and send something to you, like I know where your mama live, I know her address or whatever. If you tell somebody, I'm gonna kill her anyway. You're not gonna say anything. You're not.
Mm.
So I think whoever this girl was, she was put there to throw some stuff off. But
Hmm.
maybe she was there because you know what, Jay-Z them and all of them, you know what, at sometimes they didn't always get kids and stuff that had it was in their right mind because obviously Jaguar ain't in her right mind either. This is real talk, real issues, real people, real results. She is a phenomenal singer and all of that.
Hmm.
But if you get people like my uncle was a pimp, he owned many cafes and all that. There were women who had PhDs that were prominent figures. I'm from Memphis, but my uncle had
Oh,
them
okay.
under his wraps. He only got the
Mm.
special ones. There was something's wrong with them. So when you're talking about pimping, pimping ain't dead. So you get
Right.
these women that have some issues. I've been molested. I got, guess what? I got some ADHD, some bipolar, some I've got one leg shorter than
Yeah.
the other one. You know what
They
I'm saying? We
prey
don't
on
know
them.
that. So
Yeah.
so I'm telling you this. Whatever it is that was going on, I believe maybe that how do we know the dad ain't been paid off? And because his daughter is special, and because guess what? Maybe the mom and the daughter and the daddy, what a mama is. They were not good parents anyway, so they didn't really give a fuck where she was. Go wherever she wanted to go.
Watch the F word.
I'm sorry. They didn't care where she was. Go wherever she want to go. Because maybe they've been
Mhm.
using her too and having people to molest her. We
Mm.
don't know that. And
So
what
do you
Jay-Z
feel
is
that
hoping,
the father would recant be like what would be the father reasoning for saying that he doesn't recall?
because he been paid. Because Jay-Z know he's finna get got. So I'm telling y'all this. Some other people,
Oh.
whoever it is, because I've been molested before. I've been sexually assaulted before. Whoever y'all are now that they got him hook and singer, and we got P. Diddy in there, come on out. Start talking. And I'm going to say this. Yes, Buzbee was a good lawyer and he tested everything, but somehow they must have paid him. Or they didn't, they have put him in a zone where they have said they're gonna kill his family or something. Cause he's been dotting all his I's and crossing all his T's until now. Something else
Mm.
scary has happened to him and he's afraid.
Oh, so you think Tony Busby has been threatened and now
Oh
he
yes, oh yes,
is
he's afraid. Just like the
wow.
mayor, who's this mayor that's been talking about P. Diddy, and they said that now he's finna step down. Because something has happened to them. Somebody has threatened maybe his mama, his children, or somebody. This stuff is way bigger than what we're thinking about. Just keep your options open. And I'm gonna say
Mm.
this about Beyonce. I don't really like her music or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been married. I've been married 40 years, and I do a whole lot
Oh
of
wow,
private
that's
stuff
awesome.
for me and my husband or whatever. Not that I hate her music, but you know what? Everything about her, I don't. I've been drinking. I've been thinking whatever. Whatever. I'm just saying this. Beyonce may have started and she got there because her dad then pushed her somewhere where she wasn't supposed to believe. And guess what? She hadn't had a real man in her life. And she thought that Jay-Z was the one. But then some other stuff came up. And then guess what? She drunk some stuff and now she caught up too. She caught up. She's not going to tell y'all that. These people are
Right.
afraid, like Denzel Washington, them and all of them. They have been called hook and singer, and they're not finna come up and say, "Guess what? Yes, I let a man poke me in my behind. I don't know how it happened, but when they showed me the tape, you know what I'm saying? I got $100 million for something. You know what? I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. I thought it was just gonna put the tip in or something like. I don't know what it was gonna do. I'm telling y'all, like this stuff is for real. Do not discount these people, because even though now Jaguar is backtracking what she said, everything that she said before, at some point, whether she saw it, she heard it, she know it, or whatever, it did come to fruition. Now maybe she is in such a bind because she ain't got no money and something is happening. So she don't care if it was live, because I was on every one of them lives and she said it. She did. She said it. She even said
Oh, so you know
Jaguar
she
even said
said
that
it. Okay.
she even said that she was a witch. I'm a witch.
Right. And she
I
said
do
she mixed the
witchcraft.
blood with the fentanyl weed
Yes.
and her son
Yes.
ashes and
Yes.
made her
Yes.
ex-husband smoke it.
I
I
just
remember
want I just want y'all to know this. When I'm the 13th child out of 15. And in
Ooh, okay.
my family, this is what my mom and dad, we were farmers. Whoever's older than you could tell the youngest one what to do. And we don't, if you have to decipher where a person is old, elderly or not, you say yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, no matter what. You don't question it. So when my sister and them would sneak out the house and go somewhere, they had babies and stuff, they would give them to me. Because guess what? Annie would tell Betty, Betty would tell Patsy, Patsy would tell, you know what? And now I'm the baby with they babies.
Mm.
We do not know what these people are going through. Like all these real men, they started out being real men. Just like Usher. Usher did some things because his mama had him there wherever he was, and maybe he learned to like it, or maybe he didn't. But guess what? Whether I learned to like it or not, these people still got a hold on me. So I still got to keep giving in. Like I loved Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross, I found out, even though he may have liked me in, but I didn't like being with Clyde Davis. That ain't the man I wanted to be with.
Mm.
These people have been forced to do some things and to shut up, like a whole lot of these other stars and how we say these one-hit wonders. Have y'all ever
Mhm.
wondered why these people are not singing anymore? Because maybe they decide, I don't want to do it anymore. And guess what? They don't got no money
Mm.
because you're
So
not
do you
feeding
think
them.
Jag is a victim of that, or you
I
think?
think she is a victim of Jay-Z and being in the P. Diddy syndrome and all that, because she was there. I think that
But
Jag
Chef
also,
Rosie, why would she lie now?
because she's afraid. We don't know what they done. Maybe they ain't got the one thing. Because you know what? Who was they? This guy that she said was her bodyguard, and he was with the mafia, but his ass is dead. He gone. You know what I'm talking about? You know who I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about,
the
right?
white guy, right? Who
Yes,
was the
he's
manager?
gone.
Yeah, he passed
He's gone.
away.
And I'm gonna tell you this, because it was for free to her, but he was too fat or whatever to do anything for her anyway.
Oh,
How he gonna do something? You know what I'm saying? What he gonna do? Unless he still had connections, and now he's gone. And if he had connections, she would still be safe. She's not safe.
well, she got a dude now. His name is
She's not
Wolfgang.
safe. She's
He's
not
not.
safe. Because if they pay him, he will leave her too. She's not safe.
Mm.
He nor her are safe. I'm gonna tell you this: like Will Smith came out, he ain't never talked about nothing. Will Smith is part of all that too, because Jaden said that Jada and his dad sent him to P. Diddy. We can't make this stuff up. That boy said that. All
Wait,
I'm saying is
Jaden?
just for everybody. I know like people keep having Jaguar on and stuff, but when people are scared, a hurt dog will holler, but a scared dog will say some crazy stuff that will. They'll even make you
Mm.
think like, you know what? I know we was talking, but no, they switched it out. They switched it out. I don't care what I say. These folks say they gonna kill me. So on tape, I'm gonna say they switched it out. Until I know, like I can get some real FBI people or somebody that's in the system that's gonna help me and put me in a place where I'm safe. I'm gonna say
Hmm.
whatever I need to say. Just like LeBron James and them allegedly, and all these other people that didn't had they backside ran into, whether they wanted the money or not, because they
Hmm.
didn't think nobody know. I think all of it is true. It is. And they're afraid, they're scared, they are embarrassed. All of that has happened. So I'm just saying to you, from somebody who has been sexually assaulted,
Hmm.
who has been molested, that even when you come out, people who know that the times and the events that took place, like they was probably when we was too high or drinking or something, we weren't paying attention, or we trusted this person, we let you go with them and stay. They don't want to admit that either. You know what I'm saying? It didn't happen to them, it happened to me. But nobody wants to admit, like, you know what, I failed. I dropped the ball. We already know this person got some issues.
Right.
Jay-Z, when they talking about Jay-Z being with all these other people before that, you think it just started when he had a baby by somebody, allegedly or whatever? You think he ain't never been caught up because him and P. Diddy was just like freaking frack. And he want to look like a
Yeah,
gay
possibly.
trainer. That was I went to school for tennis and art. Jay-Z is still trying to look like that paint. Even when he's standing there with Beyonce and them, he's standing there just like that man with his punk ass. He is. Jay-Z been ran up and he been running into somebody. I'm just telling y'all that. We can say allegedly or not, but there's some stories finna come out about Jay-Z. It is. All
Okay,
these other rappers and
I'll definitely keep an open mind. You know,
just, I'm
you open
telling you,
my
like if
mind
you
to a
don't
few
want
things. So.
you don't want Jaguar back on her because she's scorned, she's hurt, she is mentally disturbed too, and all that. But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that what she's
Well,
saying ain't true. And if somebody I'm gonna tell you this, if somebody get in your cousin Jay-Z get in your back office and tell you, look, if you say anything else, I know where your mama live, your dog or whatever, you'll come on here saying some crazy stuff. Like, no, Jay-Z,
yeah.
I just love him. You say
But
it, you would
Chef
say it.
Rosie, that's the thing. Like, she gets you emotionally involved so you believe what she's saying. She completely tries to manipulate people because she knows how to tell stories and she knows how to get people wrapped in. So she gets people to the point where they're emotionally invested. If you come out and say, "Oh, I was a victim," and you've been telling all these stories, people will want to believe you more than they don't believe you.
I
And
don't
so
believe it.
now her feet is being held to the fire, and she's all like, "Oh no, 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 no! I didn't. That was edited. That was this and that. That was that."
But
Now,
listen.
here's the thing: she's afraid of actually getting a lawsuit. Beforehand, 4 years ago, Jay-Z probably wouldn't pay attention to her. He wouldn't give a damn. But now that Diddy is getting this lawsuit and now he's wrapped up in a lawsuit as well too, now she's like, oh my God, no, hold on. Because she don't want to be, she never expected to have to go to court. She
No, because
always
she's not
expected
protected
that
now.
she was going to, whatchamacallit, she expected that this would just be internet BS that she would just go around and say, and then she get a couple of cash apps, a couple of thousands of
No.
dollars for an
I'm gonna just
interview
say
here,
this.
interview there. But she never thought that this was actually going to be a thing where she can possibly get sued.
But I'm telling you this is because she felt, no matter whether she was or not, whoever it was that was in the back side of her that we didn't know about it, made her feel that she was protected. And now she's not. The fat guy gone, he dead. I don't know whoever else it was, but she's not protected. So now
I
she knows
disagree
she not.
with you, Chef Rosie, but thank you so much for
No,
coming up.
I'm just
I
saying, you know
appreciate you.
what? It could be her or anybody else. When we say that somebody else came out and everything else that they were saying may have checked out, not everything do she say do I think is true. I don't. But I'm just saying, if we can believe that these real men have been taking their bodies and they didn't tell nobody about it, and they've been molested or whatever, or sexually assaulted, why don't we think that now, when she thought she was protected, that she's not? And some of this stuff now, she just, no matter what y'all think, I don't care if y'all think I'm crazy or not. What? I didn't say that. No, you switched the tape. You switched the
No,
tape.
I don't think you crazy.
I'm
Jaguar
gonna
is
sue you.
crazy.
I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you. Just like Jada Pinkett never sued Bilal. She never sued him, right?
Yeah, she never sued Bilal.
And
She
now, but
didn't.
now he's quiet because guess what? I believe they paid him off. They probably
Oh,
threatened him and they done paid him off. Where he
that
at?
could
Where is
be.
he at?
Right.
So I love you. Thank you so
I love you
much.
too. Thank you, Chef Rosie. I'm gonna let on the next caller. My phone dying.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Have a good one. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Uncle Charles on. Uncle Charles, go ahead. You know you got the floor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. AT, I'm just going to tell you, congratulations on your success. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. You're my brother, and I love you. How about that?
Thank you. I love
That's
you
the way.
too, Uncle Charles. Thank
That's
you.
straight from the heart. That's straight from the heart. Now I said that. Now I said that when I was in my right mind, but now I'm in my fucked up mind. Now right now, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it's supposed to be. Now look, let me tell you something. The internet can be used for good or bad. Okay, explain to me how a man can be a model, how he can be a muscle man, and yet still he wake up in the morning and somebody don't give him a stripper's body with a big ass booty. Explain that. And now he goes to the grocery store just getting groceries and somebody slapping on the ass. Why? Because the last image that was on that internet is him having a big ass. Now he gets slapped on the ass, really in reality in the store, and now it's a goddamn problem. Now people in that fight because the internet, because somebody used the internet as a weapon. Now, I want to say this to Jaguar, and I plead with you, AT. I want you to get her on the show one night and let me and Jaguar get down to brass tacks. Let's go at it one-on-one. Because let me tell you something. I tell Jag all the time, you're very talented. Why are you keep doing? Sit back. If you're saying what is true, if you're saying what is true, is what you're saying, then sit back, relax, and let it go where it's supposed to go. But no, she keep pushing it to the grain. What I need Jag to stop doing is stop doing shows with her in that goddamn bathtub. I'm tired of watching these ass chips just float by my fucking TV. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. I'm tired of it. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Jag can really get back to what she do best, which is saying, I am sick. Let me tell you something. It's one thing to notice what's coming out of somebody's mouth, but it's a whole other ball game when you see what goes in somebody's mouth. And then you don't understand. And the only person that pays the price is the one that's getting done like that. That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this in closing. Whether Jay-Z did what he did or not, it will come out. It'll come out, and it'll come out full bear. But everybody want to talk about Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that. And let me tell you something, ladies, if you're alone, if you're some ladies out there alone tonight and you just want to curl up and you want to kiss the guy, Jay-Z is your man because he got them big ass meaty lips. Let me tell you, you can kiss Jay-Z for 24 motherfucking hours and your ass won't even come up for air. I can guarantee you that. So I send this message to Jag in closing. Jag, whether you're telling the truth or not, you know I've been around, and you know I've been trying to get on this show and challenge you to what you're saying, and you won't let me up. But I tell you this, I will find you, I will catch you, and you will pay. And instead of somebody being stirred up in your fucked up world, you will be in mine. And I had you laying in the bed, bucket naked, looking at the wall, and don't know what the fuck is going on. So you better stay away from me. You better stay away from me, and you better stay away from me for real. Because I'm an ally, AT. And if AT come get me to come get you, I'm coming to get you. And that's all I got to say. Appreciate it, baby. I love you,
You're
man.
welcome. Thank you, Uncle Charles, as
Yes,
always.
sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Uncle Charles is dope. I love Uncle Charles. Genesis, before I let you out, I'm gonna let blessings on actually. This phone ain't charging, so I probably won't be able to get through everybody, but I definitely want to go ahead and get blessing on here and then I'll let Genesis. What's up, blessing? How you doing?
Hey. I'm not gonna be long. Um, I love me some Uncle Charles. I
He
do.
is funny.
He is hilarious. He's always been hilarious. My thing is, Jag, I truly believe that she was in the industry, as we can see. I
Right.
truly believe that she was Jay-Z's, little playmate. You know what I'm saying? And I think he laid it on her so damn good to where she cannot get. I think she misses him. I think she wants him.
Huh.
I think she can't stand Beyonce because Beyonce was the chosen one. I really do believe that that girl is still sprung on that D. And it was a history of Jay-Z having that good D.
So you
And
think it's the D that got her all
oh
discombobulated and all
man,
crazy?
she is she's delirious over this man. I mean,
Wow.
it's crazy how she is so delirious. But Jag, I'm gonna tell you something because I know you in the bushes and I know you listening, sister. They getting closer to you, honey. They get isn't that how she be talking to people? They're getting
Yeah.
closer to you. They're getting close to you and they're gonna get you. Isn't that how she be?
Yeah, they're gonna get you. Yep.
They're gonna get you and they're getting close. They're using all everything they need to use to get to you. And when they
Mhm.
do, I bet you're gonna be on that stand. You're gonna be
Yeah, she gonna have to testify.
you and that little lying ASS female. You and that lying little female. That little female should have stayed. That story is so false. I don't even know what to say. I'm like
Yeah.
the caller before Uncle Charles and that elderly lady.
Uh huh.
Before them, that caller, she was on point. Everything I thought,
Sinitra. Yes.
I said, that's the same thing I said. Couture on point. Like,
Yes.
it's like, it doesn't, it's not making sense. But they're gonna get you. They're moving in close. And they know. You're making
The
me laugh. I'm
whisper. Yeah.
trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be serious. They're moving in close and they're gonna get you on that stand and they're gonna find where you're at. All right, I just came up just to mess with you.
Thank
But
you, Blessing. You know, I always appreciate when you come up, and we always talk. So I appreciate you. Thank
yeah.
you.
All right, you guys have a wonderful. I'll be back in the chat. But
All right,
chat.
you have a good one. Shout out to Blessing. I love her. Um, Genesis, I'm gonna go ahead and let you up. After Genesis, yeah, I'm gonna be done because y'all ain't even hitting that like button.
I'm gonna just
Shit,
be
I ain't
quick.
even beg for money or nothing, y'all. Well, the celebration tomorrow, I'll beg for money then. But I ain't even beg for money or nothing, like likes, money, like that'll keep me on. Shit. All right, go ahead,
Venmo,
Genesis.
Cash App, PayPal, all that. So
Yeah.
right, listen, I'm not gonna be long. I just want to just try to ask, like, what do y'all think about this NDA situation? Why is she signed to an NDA, but the 13-year-old girl is not signed to the NDA? I thought everybody would be signed to an NDA, wouldn't they? Why would they just let her not be signed to an NDA?
Well,
Everybody.
they said that not little girl, but the 13-year-old signed an NDA too. So they would have. Oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah, they should have the NDA if she had to sign an NDA. Y'all remember in the lawsuit it said that she signed an NDA?
Yeah, so why is her NDA any different than Jag's NDA? If all this happened to her, the same thing that possibly happened to Jag, why is her NDA? Why is Jag not taking, like, if this happened to her and this girl's speaking out and they both signed the NDA, but she's protecting these other people, like, what's going on? Like, that just tells me that she didn't sign no NDA, because she wouldn't. NDA would not even allow you to get on different panels talking about whatever happened to you. An NDA covers all of that.
Right.
Non-disclosure is everything. It's not just what happened at the party. It's, you can't talk about, period, nothing that happened. You can't mention my name. But there's, like, I don't know what kind of weird NDA does not cover everything she's been doing for the past, like, 4
But
years.
if anything is criminal that is done, you can speak.
Right. So I'm just like, so now we know the girl got signed to an NDA. So now we know that Jag needs to just go ahead and tell what happened to her. So stop using the NDA as an excuse as to why you can't speak out. Go on ahead. If you're a victim, go on ahead and be. And that's crazy. Can a minor sign an NDA? That's crazy that they had her sign an NDA at 13.
Right.
No,
Thank you, Joyful. I appreciate that.
so yeah, I just wanted to come up here and just talk about the NDA. I want y'all to really think about this NDA situation.
Yeah, and Genesis, I got your point. Basically, Jag is full of shit, and she's trying to claim this NDA. But on my channel, remember, she said, well, in an interview a long time ago, She said, "Oh, I don't have an NDA. I just said that because I wanted to protect my family."
Right,
And now
exactly.
she's coming back and saying she now has an NDA, but she doesn't remember all her lies.
Exactly. So the NDA is supposed to like just stop her from being able to actually take any action, and because she's protecting other people. But I'm sure if the other people, with all this going out, the NDA is out the window. So other people, if y'all are like being protected by Jaguar, like she's like the person protecting y'all, go ahead and speak up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, Genesis, you met her. Was she lying to you when you met her and stuff like that in
Yes, she
person?
was. She lied the whole thing. She made me think that there was mafia characters coming after her, had me looking back and forth, the Jimenez brothers and all type of stuff. And I hadn't watched Power, so it took me some time to figure out. Oh, that's not a real thing.
Oh wait, she got all that from Power?
Yeah, the Jimenez brothers. And I hadn't seen Power, so I didn't know that there was like no real Jimenez brothers that was really following somebody. So I actually believed her. She had me spooked, like, oh shit, I'm going back to my car. Like, oh my God, they're following her. They're gonna be following me. I'm like, oh man.
What? He never.
They're gonna
Okay,
try and
so
watch your
when she
phone.
used to
Be
talk
careful, don't
about
tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Don't
when
tell
she used to
nobody you're
talk about
talking to
people are
me.
after her, she always used to say Rock Nation. I never knew she put a name to it.
No, it was also some Mexican mafia people contacting her too that was following her. She was telling Legina the same thing, saying that they're triangulating her phone and all kind of crazy stuff. So that's like that's schizophrenia. I mean, they're triangulating your phone, bro. Really?
Mhm.
Triangulate. First of all, what are you triangulate somebody's phone? Like that's crazy. Now that
Wow.
I think about it, but when it was happening, I'm like believing it. Like I'm sorry, I believed it.
Listen, I would be nowhere near that lady. She told me somebody coming after her and looking for her. I wouldn't be nowhere near her.
She came in with like a hoodie on and her sunglasses on, looking back and forth, and I didn't catch on that this was weird. You know, I'm like, what?
Wait, so she had a hoodie on and her sunglasses inside the
And then
house?
when she came to my house, she laid on my chair and was like, "A war is coming. A war is coming." She started to like convulse, and then Gerald was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? A war is coming. A war is coming." It was crazy, you know. And you know, everybody was up there like, "What is going on with her?" Yeah, it was weird, you know.
Oh my god.
But
That was probably crack cocaine. That's probably
no,
she was having withdrawals.
I don't know. But the war was coming, all that stuff. Bottom line is, whatever NDA, Tremendous Brothers, all that stuff is just wow. So I hope that whatever happens, she works it out and everything like that. So
Have you ever told this story before?
I told some of it on Real Life Street Stars, not the war is coming part, not the part where she said on the on my thing was like the war is coming. I didn't tell that part, but yeah, I told about the
Oh, okay.
how she
Because
had
this is
me
definitely
scared
getting
and
chopped
spooked.
up and reused in a clip because that is hilarious. That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
The
I am
Mendez
chopping
brothers,
this up
honey.
and
I hope
reclipping
listen, the
this.
Mendez brothers don't come after me because I just told people y'all name. So all right, I'm gonna go now. My order's at the door.
All right, you have a good one, Genesis. Thank
All
you for
right,
coming
peace.
up. Make sure you guys follow Alchemizing Energy. She's a content creator on here too, as well. Chef Rosie, I don't know if you're a content creator on here, but if you're still here, drop your channel, drop your app where we can go ahead and find you. And I seen Melanie say it looked like you know how to make some good greens too. Actually, I only have one more in the back. I got JP. Let me see. JP, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up, JP? Go ahead. The floor is yours. I'll let you talk.
Well, I want to say first of all, I'm kind of glad that someone's like having a fair perspective for the most part on this because people like, throw around victim a lot. It's like a silence tactic, but we really don't know who the victim is in this situation. It can very well be Jay-Z. And
Mm-hmm.
I said this in the chat, but I don't believe the theory that the dad was paid, that they paid off the dad. It makes absolutely no sense because if he wanted to just pay, he could have just paid the lawyer for this all to
Right.
go away. So it doesn't make any sense. It's like every time someone comes up with a scenario that doesn't make sense on her part, then oh, they were paid off. Well, it can be all if someone can be paid off. If that logic is being used, then we can say then it could be a money grab. She could be just doing this for money, but people don't like when you say that. So I'm just saying it can go both ways. But I look at situations like with the Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard situation. It's like when these
Ooh,
type of
yeah.
allegations come out and people lose deals and they lose all that money, they can never get that back. So, it's very important to, just be fair about the situation because we don't even know who she is. Meanwhile, he's being crucified. So that's really all I had to say. Good show, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and you are right because it's like we are basically crucifying him before there's even a court case or anything like that, and we know that in the court of public opinion, that can make you lose all the deals and income and things happening to you, sponsorships. So yeah, it is a thing to think about because
Yeah,
just with
we
an
need to
accusation, you can ruin somebody's life.
yeah, we need to give some credit to the fact that, like I said, if he wanted to pay, he could have just paid for this all to go away. So I don't think it's exactly fair to just jump to, the conclusion that the dad was paid off because to me that makes no sense to go a step above the lawyer and her and just pay it all this to go away and then never go out to the public in the first place to pay the dad and it's still going on, a chance that he can be convicted. So it just doesn't make
Right.
sense to me.
Why just pay the dad? You might as well just pay them to go off and shut
Right,
up.
because playing a dad doesn't even make it go away. This is still going on. I mean, it could still be a juror that still just believes her, just cause emotionally. So it doesn't make it go away paying her. If he wanted to make it go away, he could have just paid the lawyer. So we'll see. I don't know, but if this is a civil case, I was gonna say like because people were
Yeah,
saying
it's
like
civil.
right, people were saying oh, in public opinion, he could be found guilty. I'm wondering, like, because this doesn't look like a very strong case. I'm not saying it did or it didn't happen. I don't know. It doesn't look like a strong case, but does he have the option to not have a jury? Could he just have the judge do it?
I think I don't know if Tony Buzbee would have the power to do that, or if Jay-Z and his lawyers, Alex Shapiro, would have the power to do that. But I mean, that could be an option where it's not a jury and it just be the judge making the decision. It'd have to be like a they'll have to put in something to motion to make that happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, every time somebody, and I see some of the comments, but every time it comes to a situation where it could be looking like the story isn't true, then the person it's just automatically dismissed and they were paid off for Jay-Z, but nobody
Right.
is looking at it. This can all just be for money, be a money grab for her too. So it can go both ways. All right, brother, but I'll let you go. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thank you so much for coming by.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was everybody. Okay, we got through. We got through. We had some good conversation. Shout out to Sinitra. Shout out to Chef Rosie. She was funny as hell. I can't lie. I love her. Shout out to JP. Shout out to DJ Genesis. Shout out to Blessings. Shout out to our favorite cousin Stephanie. Shout out to don't forget that the celebration is tomorrow. Remember, it's the early birthday celebration. Um, Will be at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys come back for that. I have a few guests coming, so you guys will see who they are. And basically, it's just going to be a long show that we're doing where I'll be rocking out with y'all. And yeah, we'll be talking shit. And we'll be talking definitely about what's going on with Jag and this whole lawsuit and a few other topics as well as TD Jakes, Larry Reed, what's going on with that. There's a lot that has been happening, and I'm just going to combine everything in one show, and y'all be able to celebrate my birthday with me because I always like to do a virtual celebration with you guys before I do like an actual birthday because I'll be out of town. So again, thank y'all for all the love and support, all the super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all really have been rocking with me and really been showing me love. Um, and I was talking to Voodoo Child earlier, and we are talking about, the attention that I've been getting, and it hasn't gone to my head. It hasn't, like, I'm not like, oh, see, I was featured in this vlog and that vlog. Like, I'm still humble. Like, no matter what level of success I get to or wherever I go, it's never going to change me. I promise you that. I'm still going to be the same AT2. All right, I'm lying. As soon as I get $1 million, I'm changing. As soon as I get $1 million, I'm acting brand new. I ain't gonna lie. Let me stop lying to you. As soon as I get Voodoo Doll, thank you, Voodoo Doll. I'm sorry, I said Voodoo Child, Voodoo Doll. I was thinking of the song, Voodoo Doll. As soon as I get $1 million, I'm changing. I hate when people say like, "Oh, I ain't never gonna change," blah blah blah. No, I'm changing as soon as I got $1 million. Trust me. Shit, I'm gonna go get me some Ozempic and be skinny again. Like, I'm telling you, act brand new and everything. Like, act brand new and everything. Oh, and thank you. I appreciate it, Melody. She said, "Love you, you too, big bro. Happy birthday. It's your season." Yeah, you know what? And somebody was telling me because it's Sagittarius season, like that's why good things have been happening for me. So I'm keeping that in mind. I'm paying attention to that. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Shout out to everybody who came. Oh, Uncle Charles too. Uncle Charles came up. Carlos, my twin, came up. So yeah, we had a good show. And again, let me say this because I know tomorrow y'all gonna run with this. I am not discrediting anything that Tisa Tells was saying. I think she is a great content creator. She does her thing. She is just trying to put the information out there. However, this 2000 versus 2003, I'm like, nah, uh, nah. I can't do it. Nah. I ain't believing it. But hey, everybody has their own opinion. Some people believe it, some people don't. And that's what's special about my channel. Y'all allowed to agree with me and y'all allowed to disagree with me. But either way, I love y'all. Deuces, we out.